Wow, we did our first spec of the year.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So what was it about Cyro that made you feel like there's a story worth telling?
I think when I heard about Cyro and what they stood for, being a female DJ duo in Toronto, redefining the event curation space and approach to DJing, I felt like that was a story that needed to be told more than just a couple reels on Instagram. It needed something that would solidify who they are and what they stood for. I love that they represented change and growth in the event curation space. When we first started talking about the project, what stood out to you about the project and what sort of drew you to it?
I just knew when I went to go watch their set, I was so enamored by them and like their taste in music and the way the crowd felt. And they were opening, so they started the vibe out for me. So I really was just enamored by them, and I felt like there was a story to be told already from the vision that they had going on their page. So I was glad we were aligned on that. Yeah, there was a lot of ways we could have approached this. Why did we choose a commercial vignette instead of the traditional profile piece?
Yeah, I figured a vignette would be a really interesting way to tell a story. I think it could have moments of their real life, which is their interview portions, but that it could also showcase in a creative visual way what they represent and the things they were discussing. So for example, when they were talking about creating spaces for women and feeling sexy and having fun and a good time, I wanted to showcase that visually by having them dance in the space and have a good time together to showcase that collective freedom that they give themselves and their audience.
Yeah.
Same thing goes for when they talk about their DJ sets, them going back to back and enjoying their time. I wanted to showcase what that felt like to be a part of their DJ set for someone that wasn't there. And I felt like a vignette was the best way to do it. It didn't need to be long and drawn out. It could sort of relay their message in a short span of time so that when people see it, they're engaged the whole way through and they get an idea of what Cyro's all about.
Yeah, I agree with you.
From a producer standpoint, how do we make sure that the creative stayed feasible and we're able to manage it?
I think setting expectations between ourselves as well really helped. It was like, we know we might need more, but what can we genuinely pull back? And I kept pulling back.
Yeah.
Do we need it? No, we don't. Do we need that? No, we don't. Also, minimizing how many people you need and what is asked of the location. Also, speaking with your director and making sure how many shots do you need to make this the piece you want it to make, because we're time limited, resource limited, crew limited, everything limited, honestly. And so I feel like on this one, it was a collaborative effort with you as well as the director on it.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have been able to produce a piece this good without setting expectations within each other first.
Yeah, I agree. I think that having those boundaries and creating within that is what made the project so powerful, because we didn't have to go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Plus we had the time limit as well, 6 hours in the space. So we had to get in, shoot, get out. So yeah, I think we definitely were able to achieve it through your stringent guidelines there.
So what feeling did you want people to leave with after watching the film?
Yeah, I think I wanted people to leave with two things: empowerment, but then also outside of that, understanding of what other people experience. I know the girls in our pre-interview talked about them wanting to create something for the girls that felt safe, felt like a safe space for people to come enjoy themselves, party, feel great about themselves, and not have to worry about conforming to any party cultures or drinking culture, and just being able to enjoy themselves in a space that's curated for them. And I felt like I really wanted people to see both perspectives, the perspectives of where the girls are coming from and what they experience, but then also the girls that are watching this to feel empowered and want to be a part of something like that. So
Completely.
Hopefully that translated in the
think
film.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely was a part of the pre-conversation, so I know what they wanted translated. That's why I feel so heavily that it did.
Yeah.
But I think in retrospect, that's what they stand for, like just creating that safe space for all women. And I think you did a really good job at like hitting the nail on that.
Appreciate it. So knowing that the goal for this project was like empowerment and also understanding, how did that influence some of the decision making in the planning process from a producer standpoint?
I think just rolling with the curves of what you need on set. For example, we added, I think maybe one of the best shots of all the girls very last minute. And so at the time when I get a message like, hey, we need like additional talent, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, what did you say? But then luckily, Cyro was just as collaborative on this project as we were, and they cared about this project just as much as we did. So they were able to round up their friends and beautiful models, honestly, like the best talent we could have asked for to bring the vibe. And our wardrobe stylist was SJ was just so willing to pivot and style everybody, even the additional 4 women. And so that was kind of my biggest curve, because I had to get 4 additional people styled. I had to get 4 additional people, and we needed that. Like, you weren't going to be able to translate that feeling you wanted without that. And so that was one of the curveballs. At this specific location, we would have had to pay quite a bit just to be 30 minutes over. And so I am usually a stickler on time, but I especially was on this set, and I had to know that coming in. So the production schedule was really important to me, that we were falling in line with that. And there were some hiccups on set, but by the time the hiccup was solved, we would be done that scene the time I anticipated we'd be done. And so that made me feel really happy that we worked through that production schedule the weekend before, just to make sure that you guys had enough time to do what you had to do. But that was just one thing that was really important.
It was good that we were so cognizant of the time, because we're able to get just the amount of stuff that we needed to tell the story.
There was stuff you cut.
Yeah, there were shots and scenes that got cut.
Not only did we cut on the day of, but we cut when making the production schedule. Like, because the lighting fixture would have taken too long to set up. And there was just, I'm really glad we dove deep into those conversations. So when we got on set, it wasn't just confusion and disorganization.
Yeah, and it also helps that we met with all of our crew and teams, and everyone was clear on what we were going in to execute and how long things would take and what was happening while things were getting set up, so that everything was flowing in the smoothest way possible, and in unison. So
So once we got into production, what was the thing that helped bring it to life?
I think the crew helped bring it to life, to be honest. We had such a solid crew. Everyone was really clear on what we were creating, how we wanted to go about it, the philosophy around the storytelling, the cinematography. That was all clear, especially speaking with my gaffer, Prem. He knew how I wanted to approach lighting. I told him from the jump that I wanted fixtures that were going to be able to be easily moved, because we were shooting at multiple places in the area. You know, my first AC knew that we'd be having lens swaps because of our planning through shot listing and things like that. And I think everyone was sort of clear on how we wanted to approach this project.
Absolutely.
And I think the crew was a part of what made this what it was. That, and just really thoughtful planning before we got on set, so that when we were on set, we weren't scrambling trying to figure out what's next. We were executing based on the scenes we knew we had to get in the order that we planned it.
What do you think this project says about where Vero is going next?
I think it's good to show that, like, the importance for us of storytelling and why it's important to tell stories of culture and authenticity versus just a product or a brand for this brand's sake. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It's never been out.
But I feel like once we get the opportunity to, involve real people in the storytelling aspect, I think that's where we excel at. And this is just another testament to that.
Yeah, we want to always leave with feelings. Like, we always want to leave feeling something ourselves. If we need to watch it, and because we know when we watch stuff, we're waiting for a feeling, and so we want to be that.
Yeah, we want to be the people that convey feeling, emotion, and keep it real, right? And I think that's exactly what we did on this, and what we do on all of our projects.
Wow, we did it.
Folks, you just watched another episode of The Room, and check out some of our previous episodes where we break down some of the commercials that we worked on.